Hello everyone, P2MG. I got a comment literally 10 minutes ago asking me for a Storm matchup tier list, and um I've always thought of it in my head, but I've never actually made it. So without further ado, I'm gonna just get going on this. Adam Warlock, I'm putting him in the kinda annoying tier because so with Adam Warlock, he has his Soul Bind, which can totally negate your ult unless their entire team is clumped up. He has his res, like his self-res, and also he allows Star-Lord and Mantis to self-res. And then he also has his ult. His ult, though, you can kind of counter it by just ulting his ult. But that worked a lot for me in the beta, but it hasn't worked as much now. I don't know if there's something changed about his ult, but I usually just don't even worry about ulting his ult anymore unless it's a lot of people. Next, Black Panther, kind of annoying because he can just dash around a ton, and normally with the other flankers, you can, so they come in, you press your Goddess boost, which is the amplification of your weather, and then it'll just kind of strike them. But with Black Panther, because you're playing with your team, if he's in your team, he's just gaining a ton of shield. And then you also, it's hard to hit your right click to burst him down for that last bit of HP because he's just dashing back and forth all the time. So really you're just kind of waiting for him to miss one of his resets and then you can pretty much just destroy him. But he's kind of annoying just for that, and it's, yeah. Black Widow, honestly just another character. It might even be a little bit Storm favored. So this is how I think about most of the hit scan in the game. Is I don't ever have to really peek a Black Widow, and if I do, then I'm not dead. So it doesn't really matter. Because when you're playing Storm, you're playing close to the ground, you're playing around structures, and with your team, she's not really going to get much value unless she's in a very high position. But take that with a grain of salt because I don't see any Black Widow players in my games. Hulk. So I think I'm putting it in look to ban. Hulk himself is actually Storm kind of fucks him up. Pardon my French, but Hulk tries to jump in, do anything. You just turn on your damage amp and you just tell your team to melt him, and they are in banner mode in a second. It's absolutely absurd. So Hulk himself, not really a problem at all. Actually, I would think that Storm counters him. But because of the team-ups, I'm putting him in the look to ban section. Because Iron Man with that team-up is absolutely just, it's literally Storm's, one of Storm's biggest counters, in my opinion. Because Iron Man is, silent. So you're, focused on, shooting down the main area. You're looking at the front. I to try to keep another eye behind me for this flanking Iron Man that can kill me in half a second. So annoying. Plus he's got all the mobility and it's just hard to burst him down as much. The best way I've found to deal with an Iron Man with the Hulk team up is to play structures more. It's kind of every single character like that, but especially this one. Captain America. The matchup is just kind of annoying because you can't put as much damage into him as the other tanks when he's holding up his shield. But beyond that, he's never really a threat to Storm. So I'm putting him in the just another character tier. Cloak and Dagger, I'm gonna put them in kind of annoying. Because the ult, it lasts 5 seconds on the ground after the dash. I'm not sure if it's the last dash or if it's after each dash and they slowly go away. I'm pretty sure it's the latter of what I just said. But, so there's that. And then also the right-click ability on Cloak makes it so your ult doesn't hit Cloak and Dagger. So, if you ult them, because when you're using your ult, you should always try to go on the supports. But if you're using your ult on the Cloak, then they can just press right-click. So it's another cooldown you have to look out for, which is really annoying. Doctor Strange, Yeah, he's pretty annoying because if his team is supporting him a lot and lets him walk through and do things like that, he can just kind of run up to you and just burst you because you're playing like right behind the tanks. So if he's allowed to walk right up behind you, then yeah, that's what's gonna happen there. Um, Groot, I think Storm counters him extremely because giving your team the 8 to 12% damage boost and along with the piercing, like he's just a alt builder really. One thing about Doctor Strange still is that beyond like the bursting, also with the Hulk team up, it's really annoying because he can really do a lot of damage, but then also his shield with your alt. You kind of have to like go in back and forth between that to try to damage him if you're going for him because you've killed everybody else, but just more of like the annoying for the non-ultimate reasons. Anyways, the Groot thing, Storm counters because you can break the walls really quick with the damage amp, and the way that people play with a Groot kind of, it seems like when I have played against a Groot, I'm able to shoot down and pierce my wind blades way more, so I can build more ult too. It's like they're like walking in straight lines behind the walls if they're pushing up with them. Hawkeye is just another character tier. I know this is probably a hot one because everybody in every single one of my matches is like, oh, we should probably ban Hela and Hawkeye because we have a Storm player. Yeah, no, they're just like actually just another character to me. Hela and Hawkeye. You know what? Here, we'll do that while we're talking about both of them. Because Hawkeye, he can one-shot you, yeah, sure, but you shouldn't really. You should always keep your eyes on him and then just play the structures and just you peek him and you shoot a wind blade. Like his arrow's not going to come to you that fast, unless then if it does, then you're peeking too far and you're moving out of the angle too much. Like yeah, you'll get the random one shots, and it's more like the only reason I would say that Hawkeye could be a Storm counter is because your team will die faster because they'll get the random headshots. At least that's what I've seen in my experience because people aren't like playing the environment as much as I am. They'll get headshot and they'll get killed quicker. So then that would make Storm worse because less people will use your auras or your weather to be better. Then just talking more specifically about Hela, same thing with Widow, just playing like the environments. Like Hela and Hawkeye and Hela now, like they just don't ever really kill me. Like I'm playing the environment so much, like they'll hit me like once. Okay, I'll just sit back because then my team will have more damage and they'll just shoot at you. And also like if a Hela, like when you're face checking a Hela, I find like a lot of Helas actually get like kind of nervous when you pop like your E. They just like miss every shot. I don't know what it is, but I mean, maybe it's just like a skill diff, but it's also a Grandmaster 1 right now, but Grandmaster tier. Helas. So, yeah, I'm not really sure. I can like 1v1 them too in like a close quarters area. And just playing your environment, yeah, Hela's never really a problem. Iron Fist. Yeah, I've like maybe seen one Iron Fist that was ever really an issue. But other than that, like just having the damage amp and then the constant lightning while he's just like punching the shit out of someone, I think that just makes it so that when your team turns on the Iron Fist, it kind of burns them a lot faster. Because Storm's like kind of an anti-flank character. So like you can really help with that. Like I know Black Panther's kind of annoying, but like a lot of like the anti-flanking, it also relies on the player. Like you're when you're playing Storm to also look at the flankers because you want to keep your team alive, and you also just have to kind of peel. That's just Storm. I mean, maybe it's like every character should be doing that, probably, but my opinion, like Storm is like a really good anti-dive character. So, but I put it in kind of annoying because your DPS to turn and kill the Panther is not as high. But Iron Fist though is just not really ever an issue because he has like one parry and then your team will just burn him. Iron Man, I'm gonna put him in kind of annoying. So there is the Hulk team up, but then there also is just he's so silent, and it's just, I don't know. But without the Hulk team up, I would say like it's probably Storm favored. Actually, I guess since I'm putting Hulk in that, I should probably put it here then, because I'm considering the team ups already and the look to ban. So yeah, Iron Man, Storm favored because you can just kind of play around terrain a lot. And if he's off like in the middle of space, don't really need to worry about him. He's not going to hit you. But when he comes up close and does like the right click laser thing, that's when it's a little bit more dangerous. But then you can still just press your Goddess boost with Thunder on, hit him like a few times, and right click him, and he's dead. Great combo. I love that. Jeff the Land Shark. Hey, people have commented this on my videos, but it is kind of annoying. But I mean, okay, I'll put him in just another character. It doesn't really make that much of a difference, but his ult has such high verticality. It's so annoying because I'll be like on fucking Mars and this guy will eat me. Like, how did he do that? But other than that, like, there's nothing really special about him. It is a little bit tricky to hit him when he is in his shift ability, like where he's swimming around. But other than that, not much. I mean, because you can also, when you press Goddess Boost on your like wind aura, it actually slows him. So that also makes it helpful to try to track him and hit him down like that. But other than that, he's just like another character. Loki, yeah, I'm going to put him in kind of annoying because he can take your ult and kind of just decimate your team as well. But then along with that, he's got the lamp. He can blink away. And he can clone another healer's defensive ult. So if you've been tracking them correctly, I mean, usually I see like Loki a lot in like 3 support compositions. But even if you've been like tracking support ults, like you just have this like variable of Loki in there. It's like, well, he could take the other support ult and then like respond to my ult, or he could not. So like general practice when I have fought against Loki is trying to get close enough and use my ult so that I can just go on him right away, so that even if he does transform, I'm killing whoever he just turned into. I mean, obviously, if it's a tank, then I won't, but I've seen a Loki transform into a tank like maybe twice. So, yeah, Loki's just kind of annoying because of the lamp thing, and then, yeah, that's about it. And you can also blink away. That's about it. Luna Snow, definitely look to ban. This is like the biggest counter to your ult. So, by the way, shout out to this. Sorry for the fucking flashbang. But, so, let's see, where is it? This is the Storm document. It's linked in the description. It's linked in the description of, like, all my videos. But if you look here, Luna Snow's ult is 12 seconds. And so you have to wait 7 seconds before you even ult. And then you have to wait 5 seconds in your ult. And then her ult will be done. So it's just so long that you have to like make sure that you play around her ult charge. Like if there's a Luna Snow on the enemy team, that is like the #1 thing I'm thinking about. Sorry for the flashbang again. I don't have dark mode on this. I don't know how to do it. I had it before, but now I forgot. Whatever. But one thing though with Storm is that sometimes like I've had like comps where I like it's Storm Psylocke, like that it's me and Psylocke. You can literally just ult the Luna Snow, and then Psylocke has a free ult, and that's just enough value. And I know I can build mine really quick because I'm like good at doing that, so I'm not really worried about that. So sometimes if Luna Snow has ult and she's like, she's holding it or whatever, and try to pressure her to take it out as much as you can, but then if she doesn't, then it's just ult to get rid of it, and then tell your team. Like, you can literally just ult and then just fucking run out, because you're not going to probably kill anyone with it active. Anyways, Magik Storm counters easily, 100%. Every time a Magik dives, I'm just, like, destroying her, because, like, she'll have small windows where you can damage her and just doing more there. And then the more damage you do, and she's already, like, portaling in, like, she's not escaping. Plus, you have your right click. I've never had like a Magik be a problem. Magneto, kind of annoying. Not someone I look to ban, but just because of the bubbles that he has, the bubbles that he can put on other people is actually kind of crazy, and like you won't kill somebody in your ult with it on unless he does it right at the beginning of your ult. Then you might be able to kill them. But other than that, like his bubble is a big counter into the storm ult. But as a character, otherwise doesn't really. You can okay. By the way, pro tip: your goddess boost, like when it strikes down lightning periodically, that'll damage him in his ult, and so will your right click. But your primary fire will be absorbed by his ult. So if you ever need to get like the last bit of damage off, you could press your E, or you could right click him. Mantis, kind of annoying. It's not a storm counter, but it is ultimate you have to look out for. Usually, if the Mantis pops the ult and then you pop yours, you're fine because you'll be able to kill her, even though the timing's a little bit off. But if they do it right as you touch down, it's just kind of a wash. She can't sleep you in your tornado. A lot of people try to do that, which is really funny because I just know they haven't played against Storm much, but yeah, just kind of annoying for the ult reason. Like, but Luna's is obviously so much better, so I looked to ban. Moon Knight, I would put him in kind of annoying because when you're playing like kind of close to the ground, so your weather radius is 15 meters. So if you're playing like on the ground, then it's like at its maximum radius, assuming you're on like a totally flat surface. But then with Moon Knight, you get hit by like Onks, and you get hit by him just shooting into your team a ton. So you have to look out for that. And playing higher is like you're not going to get much more value out of your weather control. So kind of annoying for that reason that you have to like play a little bit higher up, and then it can leave you more vulnerable in other ways. But definitely not like terrible. Plus, if you catch a Moon Knight, you're probably going to win the 1v1 every time unless he uses an Ankh on you. Namor. Yeah, I would say Namor is just like another character. Like his squids are a little bit annoying, and you have to like. It's probably better that you shoot them for your team. Unless they're really far away, then you're not killing those. They're just like immortal because your damage fall off. But other than that, he's not really a threat. You can usually just burst him down really quick with your team. And yeah, I haven't really been threatened much by any Namors because I'm not in a position where the turrets would be hard focusing me because like I'm with my team all the time. Penny Parker, I would say storm counters like a lot. I'm pretty sure your goddess boost can hit her like little nest. Not 100% on that, but I think I've seen it happen. And then she just like doesn't really have much utility to kill you or to pressure you like at all. And I always end up just like melting every single Penny Parker I see. It might just be that Penny's just not like that good, or maybe the players aren't that good, but I've never felt any threat from a Penny. Anytime there's a Penny on the other team, we just run through them. Psylocke. It's kind of hovering for me between kind of annoying and just another character. Because with Psylocke, you can like run out of her ult if you're at the edge of it. Like if you press your E with your speed and all that. But I've had like Psylocke's kill me like way more. I mean, this is obviously the case, but like they've killed me more than like Hela's or Hawkeye's. Just because they can just burst so quickly. But other than like, I think it's just Psylocke's just a strong character. There's nothing really about her kit that's like annoying for Storm itself. It's just like it's just like kind of a strong character. Punisher, I also think, is just another character. Because I don't know if, and so if you look at the Storm document, I'm not going to pull it up again because I don't want to flashbang you all. But if you pull up that document, I have a clip of how you use your ult on top of Punisher ult. And it basically makes it so that unless they're aimbotting, they can't hit you. Because if you sit like right on top of their head, they're going to get damaged. But then, you know what? Here, flashbang. Sorry. I'll show you. This is just... So watch what I do here. I just like... So I spawn right here. Punisher starts trying to shoot at me, but then I just go all around his head. How is he even going to try to hit me there? It's like actually impossible because he has to turn his camera around and then, oh, I'm on the other side now. So it's really, yeah, that's like a big counter to his ult because he can't really do much about that. But if other people are shooting you and he's getting a ton of heals, that's where you'll probably die. But I think it's just normally just like another character. Um, Rocket Raccoon. He's kind of annoying because so when you put your ult on him, he can just like dash away twice if he has both dashes. And that's really annoying. But then then he also has his res beacon, which you have to worry about. There was one time I solo ulted a res beacon, so like I know it's annoying. Um but other than his dashing away and his res beacon, there's not much about him, but those things are really annoying. And it's like kind of things that you can't like wait out like certain other abilities. I mean, you could watch for the 2 dashes, but that's like such a low cooldown and such a short window, it's probably not worth it. Scarlet Witch. I'd like to say it's just another character, but I also think you generally win the 1v1 if you have your goddess boost up. But I've had also some Scarlet Witches just kind of burn me down if I don't have it up. So there's that. That's about all for that. Playing with a Scarlet Witch though, you can speed boost them with their ults. Goes crazy. Same with like Magneto. That stuff's really good. Spider-Man's kind of annoying because he can burst you down, and usually healers aren't looking like slightly above where most of your team is because that's like kind of where you sit. So then you don't get like healing to get rid of the one-shot combo, like to heal you past it. So, and plus you're kind of an isolated target, like because you're sitting in a spot that's above your team, so you're kind of just in one spot and you're not very fast. So for him to hit his right click and then to dash into you and do his full combo, that's gonna do quite a bit of damage. I mean, it'll kill you. He can one shot you, and yeah, it's just kind of annoying. I kind of think it's like a little bit of a counter just because you can't like have the same effect with other flankers to pop your goddess boost and damage him because you have to have your healers heal you, otherwise you're just screwed. Or he messes up his combo. But Squirrel Girl, it's just literally another character. I've never really seen it, and I'm not ever hit by any of her stuff because it's all on the ground. So yeah, nothing for that. Star-Lord is probably one of the biggest counters besides Luna Snow. And okay, so I look to ban. I don't know. I was like comparing him to the people I've already said I'm looking to ban. Like, yeah, Star-Lord is so annoying. Like, people ban Hela all the time. I think Star-Lord's infinitely, like, stronger than Hela is, but, that's probably a hot take. Just the way that Star-Lord has, like, the mobility and his invulnerability periods, he also plays the environment similar to how Storm does. Like, he can come around corners really quick, and he can, like, one-clip you then as well. It makes it really hard to play against a good Star-Lord, and I find myself like, yeah, I don't. It's really not fun. I wish I could ban him every single game, but I have 3 bans up there, so I can't really do that. Storm, I mean, it's like a mirror matchup, so I'm putting that there. Thor. Yeah, I think it's probably. It seems like just another character, but any tanks that rely on like going in, like Venom, especially. Okay, yeah, putting Venom there for sure for this reason, but I'll put Thor here for any tanks that like kind of have their own mojo going on a little bit. Although I guess if you play Thor like differently with that, then it would just probably be just another character tier. But if any Thors are going to like pull somebody from the back line and push them into the team, kind of like how Wolverine does it, then I think it's Storm favored because when he comes in, you can just try to burst him really quickly. And then next onto Venom, I think you can burst him really quickly for because like he comes in and he dives, And then, like, I think Venom players have, like, a clock almost in their head of, like, when they're going to pop their shield, because you get more shield the lower health you are when you pop it. So they have, like, a clock going in their head. And when you have that 12% damage boost for your team and the 30% for yourself, like, that gets all messed up, and now they're dead. I've seen that a few times, but also just, like, he can't do as much when you're just burning him that quickly. Bucky, I think is just another character. Yeah. That's about it. And it's just, like, the hook, if he hooks you, like, yeah, you're dead, but you're not really ever in a position where that would happen. At least in my experience. They at least don't go for me. Wolverine, it is kind of annoying, but the other thing at the end of the day, it's just kind of another character. I mean, if you saw the video with Super TS video, where he tried to dash the storm into the water. Yeah, that was me, by the way. I just flew away. So there's, like, things like that where it doesn't really matter, but he does do a lot for his team. Wolverine does. So he kind of is annoying for Storm because you need your team to be, like, solid. So anyways, that's the matchup tier list. Storm document. Not going to click on it again. Don't worry, not going to flashbang you. But a Storm document will be in the description. But yeah, that's the matchup tier list for Storm. And I hope you all enjoyed. Twitch, Discord, all of that in the description. And yeah, I'll see you later, guys.